Is it just not downloading?
Well,
or
it said your session should continue in a few seconds. It doesn't press download and run GoToMeeting. And then when I go to my download folder, it's just non-existent. It's not there.
I can send you another link. Or I can also try Join Me. That's kind of weird with GoTo. Have you done a GoTo webinar meeting on?
I have. I mean, I've done them before. Okay, let me see if it's somewhere else in my. Let me go down here. Downloads. I'm going to go to my other down. I have Citrix Online Launcher.
Yeah.
It didn't show up in the download folder, but it showed up somewhere else. Click on there. Wait a minute. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it can. I mean, believe me, all the above has happened to me through the years. So we've
okay.
We're way ahead of the game. You're on. So you see my arrow moving around and whatnot.
Do I see your arrow moving around?
I'm probably moving around so fast you can't even see it.
I see Boundless New Meeting Organizer. Now I see it. Now it opened. And now I see your arrow.
Great. So Boundless Apps is up in the upper left-hand corner.
Okay.
Fantastic. Did you have a good weekend before we get into this thing?
It was kind of non-eventful, which is good.
No jail time?
No ups, no downs.
Okay.
But before you get into the nitty-gritty of your system, how about you give me the overall goal and what Boundless tries to do?
Yeah, I mean it's good. Well, good question. I mean, first and foremost, it's pretty easy to explain. It's pretty dummied down, but it is what we're trying to do. I mean, we're trying to be better than anybody. We're trying to make it easier than anybody else in this space to sell, meaning yourself as an individual.
So basically, you're a sales support system.
And there's one more and also make it so easy for your customers to buy from you. So it's making it very easy for you to sell and making it very easy for your customers to buy from you. Oh. That's our goal.
Hold on a second. Did you just take
Sure.
In an hour? Okay. Two things going on at once. You know how it always is. Okay. So you said, and make it easy for your customers to buy. To
buy from you. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, maybe I'll learn more as we go through it. But
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean,
I kind of want to know what your objectives are and what my objective should be in learning about you.
Yeah, I think your objective should be, a few things, and this is regardless of it's Boundless or anybody as you're exploring partnerships. One, I think, if I'm sitting in your shoes, I'd want to be able to. I got to be able to check the box that this is going to save me time. It's going to allow me I'm outsourcing certain things to a partner to go off and sell more or enjoy a better quality of life, whatever that may be. I think the second thing you have to look for too is it going to save me money? Because you're obviously having an infrastructure and expense structure right now with running your current organization. By outsourcing some of these things to Boundless or whomever, does that allow me to relieve myself of some fixed cost burdens? An easy one to pick out right now that everybody does, or most folks do, is accounting. So what is that? Accounting.
Oh, okay.
Invoicing and collecting and things like that. But it also could be technology platform. It could be things like ESP and Sage license. It goes on and on and on, the infrastructure costs that you absorb. How much of that goes away when you partner with somebody? I think that's something that you have to check off.
Okay.
And I think third and last, and I think that's really, and it depends on, where you want to go. Does this platform give my customers a better service offering, better experience? Does it enable me to retain these customers? If I want to grow and solicit new business, does it give me a competitive advantage in the marketplace? And candidly, that's really what we're investing in developing here at Boundless. But again, it all comes back to making it really easy for an individual. We call them affiliate sales partners, to go out and spend more time selling and make it easy for those customers to buy.
Okay.
Simple as that. So,
call me a dummy,
mm-hmm.
but I know that different ones respond differently to this. So,
sure.
If Business Builders becomes a partner to Boundless,
mm-hmm.
we continue operation as Business Builders the same as always.
It's completely up to you. Everything customer facing with Boundless can have your brand and identity at the forefront. An example of that would be invoicing. An example would be marketing. An example would be websites. I can brand it as Boundless. I can brand it as your company name. It doesn't matter to me. Okay.
Just asking. I mean, because when I've been in business for 35 years, it's a little bit different from somebody who started 2 years ago.
Oh, without a doubt. Personally, if it was me, if I was sitting in your shoes, I wouldn't want to confuse my customer base. So, going from having one flag up in front of your office and then pulling that down and putting another one and expecting everybody to get it right away. That's right. I won't do that.
Okay. Just checking.
No.
Okay, now continue on and tell me as if I hadn't interrupted you.
No. I mean, I was going to say that when you ask me the objective and goal of this conversation, it's to be very transparent. So what I thought we would do, Carol, is log in as an affiliate or a sales partner is what we would, how we describe our folks, and show you our back office system and works. I can get into details on it. I'll give you a high-level overview, and I'll show you maneuver around that. The goal of that is to give you an idea of the services that we provide as it relates to serving your orders, what services we provide in order to get your orders out smoothly.
Okay. This is mainly the quote-unquote order processing system.
Yeah, but you've been in the business long enough. And again, this is intended to be very conversational. This isn't a recruiting pitch. Okay. I'm just going to show you what we have. Well, and then I think, and I also think what's important too is I'm going to log in as a customer as well, and I'll show you what you'll be able to provide your clients. And then I'm going to speak to things that we're developing, because we've got some really cool things that we're in the midst of developing that are rolling out here in the beginning of the year in January that I think you'd find of interest that will streamline things quite a bit different. So
yeah, because I am a technical type person, can I ask what database program your system is based on?
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, optically, what you're looking at right now is Salesforce.
It's called Salesforce?
Salesforce.com. It's right in your backyard in the valley there. So it's right in Silicon Valley, Salesforce.com.
So you subscribe to their service?
We have their service. However, it's tied in and integrated into software that we've developed. So it's really our system. It's just optically, that's what you're looking at right here. It's our landing page, so to speak, and we use that for our technology side. But for our CRM capabilities, customer information.
So you take that and you reprogram it for your specific needs.
Correct.
I know all about FileMaker Pro. I can relate to this.
Yeah.
I mean, because my system's based on FileMaker.
Yeah. So we use Salesforce, and and then there's what you also see here is we give in the back office, we track the orders. Just think of your orders as if once they're entered in the system, they get a barcode and they go through the production process until it's ultimately paid. So I'll go through that in more detail.
Okay.
And you'll see some of the reporting as well. The other thing that I'll speak to here today is we've got a contract with ESP. So at any point in time, you can type in your customer here and then create a proposal for that client and pull out product from the ESP database and then send it over to
I'm not in love with their system, but that's okay.
Yeah, what you'll see here is that you can convert a proposal into an actual order, so you don't have to double
Yeah, I
key
know.
things.
Okay.
So
you do that also with Sage or just with ESP?
Just with ESP. We also have Sage license. We pay for and provide everybody to have their own Sage license.
Lately, I've preferred Sage over ESP, but it's a trendy thing. Changing.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to keep Sage if you like. I think over time you would find it you'd be gravitating to our system because it's less keystrokes. It's easier, but again, that happens over a period of time. Nobody makes anybody do anything over here. I mean, this is a partnership. So, anything else before we dive into some of this stuff?
Okay, I noticed that you are definitely on a PC, and
yes.
I am definitely on a Mac, and I'm never, ever, ever going to change.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. You can use I'd say a lot of our folks are on Macs.
Okay. Just check.
No, you're a Mac lover, right?
I am, and I have been since I started my business. I had an Apple IIc.
Oh, they're fantastic. They're fantastic products. Yeah. So I wish I had one, but I've been converted through the years. Anything else?
No. Start.
Okay. So I want to hit the start button here right now. So we're going to start off with the back office. So this is what you're looking at is Boundless Apps. I am logged in as an affiliate. So it's somebody like you, and he's got his own brand and identity, by the way, as well. His name is Shane Maddox. So you'll hear me reference his name and his information as we go along here.
He's a fictitious.
He's a real guy. I mean, This is the whole spirit of this is not. I'm not worried about anybody stealing business or anything to that effect or whatever.
No, I'm not either. People come to you because.
Yeah, but the objective here is just to be very, very transparent, so you're clear on. You have a good. I'm going to throw a lot at you, but you have a good idea of what we got going on.
Okay.
So, what is Boundless Apps? This is the place that you, and if you have your support people internally, that they would log into every day. This contains all your information as it relates to your business and your orders. So, for example, all your customer information, your buyers, your prospects, your leads, we would upload that data into this system so their information would be here. All the supplier information is here, pricing, contact information, all your sales information, your sales history, your sales per customer, your gross profit per buyer, all that information is housed here. In addition, you have access to marketing, supplier specials, all your financials are here as well. So everything is housed here as it relates to quote-unquote back office, the fundamentals of running a day-to-day business. So with that, I want to, before I kind of show you some of the bells and whistles, Carol, and I know you're pretty tech savvy, but let me walk you through verbally in order, since we do that day in and day out, and give you a real good understanding of what we do and then what our affiliates do.
You start at the order stage. You don't start at the project stage.
We start at the order stage. I want to kind of talk that through so we've got that, so I'm understanding that correctly. We can revisit that.
Okay.
If you have any other questions. But let's walk through, let's say you get an order of, 500 T-shirts from Alpha Broder today.
Okay.
So you would come in here, log in, you'd have your own password, and it doesn't matter where you are. You log in, you come in here, you create new, and then order. I'm not going to get into the weeds here, but this is just a simple purchase order template.
So you input your order at that point.
You input your order. Some of this information will auto-populate, obviously, because supplier information, buyer information, that stuff more than likely is already in the system. But you would fill out a purchase order just like you do today, and you would attach the artwork. Once you have that, you hit submit, That order goes to an account manager down in Austin, Texas. Okay, you'd have one point of contact, Carol, that would be your contact. That would be your person. It's one individual. That individual would look over that order, take a glance at it, get it to the vendor. This is all happening probably within 30 minutes on average. Actually, it's less than that.
Okay. In the case of a 500 shirt order, it's typically a 2-stage order.
Correct. Absolutely.
Or a multi-stage order.
Yep. So let me follow this train through.
Okay, follow the train. I'm just saying.
Follow through. No, absolutely, and it's all good question. But let me see if we're addressing some of that. So the order's been submitted. He or she will proof that order, and then send an order and then get with. Well, actually, they'll call SanMar and they'll say, just want to confirm that you have the shirts, and you can meet the
So they do all of that checking inventory and stuff.
Correct, and then they will follow. Correct, and then they will then send an order acknowledgement to you and the customer. They'll say, Mr. Customer, thank you for your order. Your order is scheduled to ship XYZ date. And let me stop right there because I forgot to mention something. So she's not only calling SanMar, but she's also calling the decorator. Okay. SanMar is going to ship at XYZ date. Decorator, is this date still good? Good.
Right.
And then she will update that into the system, which will trigger an order acknowledgement to your customer and yourself.
Okay.
Okay. And that individual will be responsible for follow. If they own that order, then from that point, they will follow up the account manager. As far as when I say own the order, I mean her responsibility or his responsibility is to make sure that order gets shipped out as scheduled on your purchase order. So they will follow up when the order is scheduled to ship at SanMar, get the tracking information uploaded into the system. They'll follow up with the decorator. Did you receive the shirts? Any questions on the artwork? Again, confirm the ship date. Enter any notes into the system. And then I'll show you what those notes look like because you have visibility to all those notations, by the way.
Okay.
And
that's great as long as everything goes smoothly.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And we know what this crazy business is, but let me complete this cycle, and then I'm going to come back.
Okay, complete the cycle, and we'll talk about problems.
Yeah, we'll talk about problems. So order shipped. They'll get the tracking information. They'll upload it in the system. That will then trigger an order, email to both you and your customer that will say, Mr. Customer, order is shipped. Click on the following link to get your tracking information.
Right.
And then they'll reach out.
Have somebody else do that.
They'll get all the freight information. They'll then get all that final freight information from the vendor. They'll supply that to the accounting contact that you would have, and that accounting contact will then create an invoice. And that invoice will then be sent over to you for approval. And they'll say, Carol, here's your order. Is there anything here that we need to edit or change? Because maybe the vendor included something that wasn't supposed to be in there or whatever, but we want to if that's the case, we want to tackle it there.
Yeah, like today I had an error happen on an order where they shipped the wrong way.
Absolutely. So
happens every day.
Happens every day. So then they ultimately their responsibility then is to send the invoice out and then collect from the customer. And then once we get paid, we pay you, and that would be on the 1st or 16th of the month.
Okay. So you do all the collections.
Mm-hmm.
And pay out.
Correct.
Okay.
Now let's talk about all the crazy problems because it's amazing, as you know, being this
that's
business.
The main part of the business is dealing with problems.
Yeah, no kid. It's amazing as much stuff actually goes out right, isn't it?
It's like when they go smoothly, this is a no-brainer. This business is easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So if there's problems, the artwork won't. Something's wrong. It's typically art related, right? Or we're missing, or it could be
art, inventory, missing deadlines, whatever.
Yep. I think having the missing deadlines, that's their job, is to make that, to get that shipped, to get that scheduled, that shipped as scheduled on your purchase order.
The number of possibilities of things that can go wrong is quite large.
Without a doubt. And if there's
Scramble,
some things
you got to find a new supplier because they don't have the inventory in the color you need, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. So if there's questions on artwork or whatever it may be, you know, the account manager won't be making the calls on that, because that knowledge of the artwork lies in between your ears, because, you know, as you know as well as I do, they would then, there's a red alert, art won't go, or something out of stock or something like that. They will pick up the phone and they will track you down to try to get this, you know, some direction on how to proceed if they indeed, you know, need some help on your part to get it corrected. But you know, that's their role, is to reach out in the event that there is something that's awry. Again, don't have this green shirt, but have this green shirt. Carol, I need approval. You know, type of getting you that information over to you with an alternative, and then, you know, you either give your blessings or point them in the direction that they need to go. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, but that is what I just described to you, is in a nutshell, is, you know, the back office services. Now, I'm going to segue here, and I'm going to kind of show you some of the data, and I'm going to get to open orders, I'll just pick out a random order so I can show you what those notations look like. But prior to doing that, I'm just going to show you some of the reports that are pretty high profile for our folks, and one is booked orders. That's obviously sales. So the nice thing about this system, at any point in time, you can click at a click of a button, you can know exactly where you are.
Okay, you went to reports. Okay.
Yeah, what I did is I clicked on, there's 3 reports, and this is what we call the big 3, the first being sales. So this individual, Shane, you can see here by month, it'll tell you exactly what his sales are, his gross profit, his margin percentage, his average order size, and the number of orders he's placed during a year. So real time, the minute you upload all this data, the minute you log in, this data is up to date. So you'll know exactly where your sales and revenue is. So there's no, you know, this gray accounting area that I don't know what the overall business looks like. You'll be able to see it down to the very last order you ever place. So.
Okay, so let me just clarify. Shane is a distributor, or is Shane one of your inside people?
No, Shane is somebody like you.
Okay, thank you.
What you're looking at is exactly what you would have. This is a carbon copy of what you would have, obviously with different data.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
And what I'm just showing you is, again, reporting. So you can look at a click of a button. Again, not to get in the weeds here, but you can also look at individual accounts. So it'll list in alphabetical orders all your accounts, and then what your sales and gross profit is.
Can you do a find in this? I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, you know, like you want to find out, you know, company X, you know, everything they've done over the past 2 years or something. You can do a find and find.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Everything's searchable.
Everything is searchable. You can look at it, you know, from inception or whatever date parameters you want to put forth. You can even do it by individual buyer as well. Right.
Okay, that's good. I've thought of a lot.
Another thing, and this is to kind of circle back to that T-shirt example we talked about with SanMar, open orders. So I'm going to click on open orders just to define that. It's pretty self-explanatory, but open orders are orders that have yet to be paid. It can be an order that's being prepared, like stage 0 right here.
You have stage numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait a minute. Go up a little bit so I can see the graph.
Sure. Yeah, this is just a bar graph up here.
So you show order. You give it numbers. That's cute. It doesn't say it. I mean, but I assume what you try to do is you go through phases.
Correct. We go through different stages of the production process.
Shipping to receive to, okay.
Correct. So stage 0 is an order that's being prepared. It hasn't been submitted yet. Shane may be waiting on artwork or whatever he's waiting on.
Right.
To stage 7 where an order's been invoiced. But this gives you a high level view of where your orders are. It doesn't give you the details. It's a bar graph. It gives you high level. But with that thought, Carol, I mean, we always have this. So let's say there's an order that's high profile for whatever reason, and you want to see what's going on with it. So I don't know. I'm just going to pick out a random order. I'll get a little farther down the line. So let's just take stage 3. So what do we got here? Beverage napkins for Spectrum Reach. So let's say that's a high-profile order. It needs to be enhanced tomorrow, and you're nervous about it, and you want to see what's going on with it. So here's the order number. So I click on beverage napkins. It'll take me to an order detail report. This contains all information about this order, everything. Everything on your purchase order, as well as the sales support notations. So I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to show you here the beauty of this business here. So this isn't even apparel. So this is the support notes. So you'll see here, this is all dated, and then there's a notation by each order. So this is the account manager making notations on this order as far as tracking the order as it's going through the system. When you're having a conversation with your account manager, if you desire, you can be looking at the same notations they're looking at. There's no separate piece of data out there. So that's the human element. On the bottom here, you remember me telling you about the bar graph where it tracks the order? Same thing. It's called but it's activity journal.
Right.
Now, why is this important? The activity journal gives us documentation. So if the individual is gone, if they overlook something, the system is still tracking that order and has assigned that order a period of time within each stage based on the scheduled ship date.
Okay, good. A tiny bit. Let me see something.
Sorry.
Oh, scroll down just.
I'm sorry.
Scroll down just a little bit. I saw something. Okay, wait a minute. Stop. Okay. This is the system. So the system can be, is it manually put in, or is it, that's interesting. I mean, I'm just seeing how it's worded in some areas, like Sorb scheduled to ship within 3 days, current verified ship date, it's just interesting how it's worded there.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, I'm just looking at that.
Think of it as when this thing was designed, it had a flow chart. So,
that makes sense.
And the account manager wakes up every day and has got a list of tasks that they have to execute on.
Okay.
But if
that comes from you guys?
And the system automatically
says these orders need attention?
Yes, correct. Okay. Correct.
Okay, sounds good.
The thing I want you to make a mental note of, if an order is staying in a stage longer than it should, by having the system track the order, it will red flag the order.
It flags the order. Yeah. Well, we have on our projects we have a flag system that if we haven't done anything on it in a certain period of time, it turns yellow.
Yep. So you're familiar with that. So same thing
the same
here.
Kind of thing. But it's on the projects, not on the orders.
Correct. So, in this case, it's
you may have a project system, but you haven't showed it to me yet.
Yeah, we do a task. We call it task. But you can use that. Yeah, I'll rewind to that here in a shortly.
Okay, so you can bring it back up to where you were or whatever.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you see more custom links here, and I'm not going to get in the weeds, but there's so much stuff you can do with this. If you want to place a reorder, you don't have to rekey everything. You just click reorder. Everything downloads under a different purchase order. quantity pricing needs
And
to
then
be
you can
filled
update
out.
it, like if it's a reorder with a different quantity, or
Exactly.
Sure, same thing.
If you want, I mean, even odd things like create a packing slip. I don't know if you ever need the vendor to
we just did one yesterday.
You can click create a packing slip. It'll create a packing slip for you, and then you can send this off to your
the
vendor.
Customer.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So stuff like that. If this was in collections, you could view collections notes. So all this stuff is available to you as it relates to the order. One spot, one destination.
Okay.
I'm going back to the home page here.
Okay.
The other thing you were talking about, projects. We call them tasks here.
Hold on.
Yeah. She's going to talk to you about how to get FedEx to pay for that, to change that.
Sorry, I heard a crisis coming.
Oh, don't worry about
it. Anyhow, okay.
So we call it task here. You guys are calling it projects. Always very similar to what you have right now. It's right here, this section. And you'll notice all things that Shane has noted on here as far as things that he needs to execute or follow up on.
He is just waiting on someone else.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of stuff.
Let me see, wait a minute. I'm just trying to see. Okay. And so when he says, I've got a new project or a new task, that task becomes like a project where somebody's looking for an item to give away at a trade show or whatever.
Yep.
Then walk me through the stages on that.
Well, here it is. It's right here, and he's got it sitting. It's almost more of a reminder, right? A project list. So.
Well, it kind of tells you what you're doing on this.
Correct.
What is this project all about?
Correct. So I mean, I just clicked on the where he is. I clicked on one of them.
Okay.
So it's got all the base.
I get the idea.
Information here. So.
Okay.
And all the description notations.
And these are the dates? No.
I'm assuming these are dates, 9/8, 7/17, 6/17 that he's got listed here, yes.
Okay. So that goes in reverse. Does it show, like he says, it says, reminding somebody to look at the presentation. Is the presentation within this task thing, or is it separate?
It can be within this task, but he looks like he's got it separate. He doesn't have it in here. It can be in an attachment.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's just it's different from the way we do ours, but it makes sense.
Great. Okay.
Everything doesn't have to be exactly the same.
No, this is something I don't know why he doesn't use this, but here's and some people, and again, it depends on people plugging into the tools, but Calendar, this integrates with Outlook. Again, not to overcomplicate this, but this is intended to be real simple and having all your information in one destination. So this actually can connect up to Outlook, so your calendar.
Can it connect to the Apple Calendar?
Oh yeah, yep.
Instead of Outlook?
Yep.
Outlook like a bad word around here.
Yep. Yes, it can. So it can link up to that if so desired.
The iCal.
So, yep, absolutely.
Okay.
And then I'm going to report you to death, but I'm
No. I'm just trying to get an idea of, if I would ever learn to be comfortable with this type of a system.
Yep. Understood. So far, it sounds kind of similar to what you got going to a certain extent here. Obviously, a little bit different, but overall theme is the same, or objectives are the same.
Right. And I'd have to learn the whole thing if I decided to buy into the system.
Yeah,
but
and just on a side note, it wouldn't be, good luck to you. Here's the manual. You'd have somebody there.
No, I'm sure we'd learn. It's interesting because my system, which is based on FileMaker Pro, was developed by it was first developed by me and another developer, but my son since became a FileMaker Pro developer, and he redeveloped my system, gave it a complete overhaul, and he happens to live in Austin, Texas. Just so
well,
happens.
If you're going to come down and visit us at some point in time, and you're exploring this deeper, which we'd love to have you down, and I'd recommend that just as a side note. You should probably bring him along with you.
Well, at the same yes, and at the same time, if you're looking for somebody who understands database development in and out, maybe it's FileMaker and you work on Salesforce, but it's the same thing. It's how you organize data to make it work.
Yeah, no, I mean,
and that's his expertise.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got enough tech guys over there. I'm sure I could connect him with our tech.
Well, he's actually working right now, and he's developing databases for one of your newspapers in the area.
Okay, awesome. Good for him. Awesome.
I mean, he's got a job. He actually works for himself, but he's a contractor.
Good for him.
It was just interesting that he happens to live there, and I happened to go to school there many years ago.
Half of Austin is California, so I mean it's.
Well, no, I was a Texan.
Yeah,
I moved to California, so.
Well, you're bucking the trend.
Well, yeah, I graduated from the University of Texas in 1969.
Wow. Okay, got it. UT.
Which, if you do the math, I was there in 1966, so I'm a little pissed off about this gun thing. They don't remember in 1966 a guy got up on the tower and shot 16 people.
Yeah, absolutely. Texas is, anyhow.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
And then more reports here. I mean, again, a lot of this is self-explanatory.
I mean, I understand you've got a lot of really good reports. We can move on because I'm not going to decide based on that
reports.
Right now.
Yeah, you've got enough reports to, cut down a forest if you wanted to.
Actually, my attitude is as long as the bottom line still looks good, we got money in the bank.
There you go. Exactly.
Things are okay.
I'll touch on these things, and send you some examples. But we do have a marketing department. We actually have 4 people in that department, and they create marketing collateral on behalf of our affiliates.
Okay.
So,
can you scroll down just a little bit? I want to see kind of what the bottom of that report looks like.
This one right here?
I just had sort of a question. Oh, okay. So it's at the bottom of that page. It's where all the report things are. And go up.
Correct.
Go up again. So I'm just trying to see what the whole page looks like. Now I see. Okay, I see it. Okay.
And then the tabs are accounts, contacts, orders, reports, business plans, leads, resources, and Pardot.
What are you calling Pardot?
Pardot is a marketing. We track the number of. We send out electronic marketing pieces, so you'd be able to see who opened, what did they click on. They can communicate back to you.
Yeah,
and so on. So
yeah, I've got my own attitude about that kind of stuff, but it's okay.
Yeah, but so we do have a marketing department. They do create collateral on behalf of our folks. You can plug into it as you see fit. We do electronic marketing every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Some of it is product-centric. Some of it is more educational, like HR is using this for that, and this is how they're doing it, that type of thing.
Yep, got it.
Okay. This is the place you would be. It's a resource tab.
Okay.
And think of it as a big library.
Okay.
So you're seeing marketing.
So the backup support people don't do research for you?
Correct. No, they do not.
Okay.
So, but if you wanted to, I'm just going to pick one out, present to a client, there's already documents that have been created, whether they're case histories, technology overviews that you can then provide to a client. So there's pre-existing presentation pieces that you can plug into at any point in time and use as you see fit. So just think of it just as a library. And that's,
Okay, now I did notice that you had this store thing. I keep on wanting to scroll on it. I do want just a brief information about how you handle stores.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so let's segue into, kind of segues into our technology and portal, unless there's other questions regarding the back office piece of it.
Right.
If there's not, we can talk about stores. So, okay. First and foremost, we have a team called Mission Control. They're our tech development team, and anytime there is a store opportunity, and let's call a store, it's a website, right, with some product in it. The process in which we determine the best solution for what type of store we move forward with is our affiliates will plug in, sales partners will connect with Mission Control and then set up a joint call with them, the customer and yourself on the call, and go through a requirements definition. What are they looking for? When do they need it? Do they need inventory? What's their minimum orders? All those type. How are they going to pay? And then the course of action then is determine, what the best solution is, and which we ultimately, at the end of the day, then present. So there's a multitude of store options you can pursue. You can pursue what I would call a just-in-time store, where there's no warehousing or fulfillment. Everything is done with vendors that can ship out at some sort of minimum quantity that's acceptable to the client, and it's just in time. Order's placed, order goes to vendor ships out.
So what I'm saying is when we have a store opportunity, do you do a custom website, or is it a standard template website type of situation, or either or?
Either or.
Okay.
We have the capability. We have our own store solution.
And you developed it?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I did a presentation the other day.
You don't have to go into the details right now. I just kind of wanted to get an idea.
I'll show you it. So, this is Spectrum Business. This is their portal, and this goes back to what we talked about at the very beginning. What is Boundless trying to do, and we're trying to make it easy for clients to buy from us, easier than anybody else.
Right.
So there's two parts. There's you going out there and selling them widgets here and there and understanding what their needs are, and then our part, the other part, how we make it easy, is just an online solution where they can go to, just like Amazon, except it's promotional products with their brand, their logo on it. So what I'm going to show you, Carol, just to be clear, is every one of your buyers can have one of these. This is our standard solution. Everybody gets a portal. So you can create a portal store on there. You can do all kinds of things. So
and then these people, whoever they are, either the company has their own warehouse and system, or there's a fulfillment house somewhere that you connect with.
We have fulfillment.
Or do you do it?
We do it.
You do fulfillment.
We have partners that do fulfillment. I don't own a brick and mortar operation, but we are integrated with fulfillment partners where we supply them an order electronically. They pick, pull, and ship.
Okay, and those are in Austin or other places, or
Kansas City, Southern California, and then also Southeast and Northeast. We have the capability of integrating with different warehouse fulfillment providers if need be. That's one of the bigger advantages that we have.
Well,
a Newton or Geiger or Halo or none of those guys. They're not even in the same zip code.
It's not something I encounter all the time, but when you do, you need it. When you need it, you need it.
absolutely. And again, I can't emphasize this enough. This is our platform, our system. That's the big advantage that we provide, because every one of your customers, whether it's Bob's Radiator Shop or Google, they need a store. You can develop a store for them. This individual, this example, this is Spectrum Business. Now, this is the individual. This is you. This is Graham Robbins. He's a part of a Boundless sales partner. Teresa Knight, a Boundless sales partner. Actually, this is his support person.
Okay.
So if I'm a buyer at Spectrum and I'm logged in as Thomas M., Thomas can come in here anytime and shop in a store. So he's got a store catalog. These are the categories. I click on apparel, and again, we're live, so I'm just moving here and winging it here.
He doesn't have any apparel in his store. Oh, can they limit it down to just what he has?
No, I accidentally clicked, I think, on the wrong one. What didn't he have? I thought he had some items in here.
No, it's kind of interesting that it has it there when there isn't anything. It's got to have apparel.
Yeah, he's got it.
There's a glitch in there. Whoops.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe he's cleaning it out. No, he doesn't have anything in here right now for whatever reason. Huh. I don't know why he doesn't have it in here.
Well, there's a box that says apparel. Oh, you were clicking on that. Interesting. Well, click on one of the others.
Yeah, let's click on one of the others.
Couldn't you have clicked on one of the boxes down below?
I could have. It's kind of weird that this isn't working here.
Okay, you'll figure that one out later.
Yeah, I logged in. It probably is one of the. Let me see if I can find another one that I can show you here real quick. Sometimes these guys do maintenance. And
and it's fine. It's fine. I don't need to see those kind of details. Mainly, I'm trying to get a better idea of what you do and what you don't do.
Sure, absolutely.
And then there'll be another time. I mean, if I decide to go to the next step, there'll be, another. I'll go into more detail.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, for whatever reason here, his store is being cleaned out here. I thought I could get one on here real quick, but I don't.
Well, maybe he lost the contract.
No, he didn't lose it.
You never know about these.
He didn't lose it. Sometimes they re-merchandise the items, so that's probably could be the case
You never
here.
know. Okay.
But,
so why don't you move on to the next point? I have something I have to do.
Sure, absolutely. Let me move on and let me show you. So I'm going to take you offline for a second and then log into a group buy.
A what?
A group buy. We have a technology, and I don't know if you've ever done this. Do you have clients that buy multiple items at all at the same time by chance, or?
Of course. I mean, I don't understand.
No, multiple buyers that buy a like item.
Okay, yes. I mean, you mean like Stanford University has their pediatric department, and they have 5 different executives who want to buy jackets for their people, but they're all the same jacket.
Yeah, exactly.
We do that all the time.
So I'm going to show you.
So you're splitting an order.
Yeah,
you buy it together, and then you split it out as when the invoicing happens.
It's kind of a web-based purchase order. Essentially, it allows buyers to buy at one point in time, so they can save. Well, so both you and the client can save time and save some money. So what I'm going to do here is log in on an actual group buy, so you've got visibility to what that looks like. So this is a piece of technology that we have. The client is called Boxit.
Called what?
Boxit. So
Oh.
that's the client. That's your client. Okay. And what you're looking at is basically an electronic purchase order. So let's kind of walk through the scenario here. So let's say your number one client is Boxit. That's the name of the company. It's a retail chain. And there's buyers scattered throughout the country. You're working with you're working with a marketing person. You want these buyers to buy one of these three products for a campaign.
Okay.
So you would set up.
We have one of those kind of things too, but it's not quite. It's a little bit different, but not the same. It's
so what you're looking at, you'd have the Boxit logo on here, the client's logo. You'd have images of the product with their logo on there. You'd have information, and you'd have a price point. So this group buy is going to expire in 4 days, 11 hours, and 7 minutes. So
but you have to have a guaranteed minimum, right?
Correct. Yeah, and when we click on this, we'll show you what that looks like. But this is exactly what would go out to all the buyers at Boxit, the audience. So you would work the marketing, and actually a lot of times the manager, you'd have your contact there send it out to all the buyers and say buy these, during XYZ date. Right. So I'm going to pretend I'm a buyer now. So I would get this in my email. I would open up the link, and this is what I'd be looking at. I'd say, I'm interested in this bike bottle. So I click on View Group by Details. When I do that, it takes me to a purchase order. So you're seeing the Boxit logo up in the left-hand corner. You get a picture of the product. Over to the left, you'll see there's been 323 that have been purchased. So I scroll down, and highlighted in gray is the current price, $2.79. Minimum order is 36.
Got it.
So
the price changes as they build the orders?
You got it. So if I say, hey, I want blue, great. I go down here and I type in 500. The price point will adjust to 250 because now the total has gone up.
I got it.
So now it's 823.
Okay, so it's kind of a fun thing to offer.
Yeah. So then I
can see. I've got a client that she has salespeople all over the country that request stuff from their fulfillment house, and this would be kind of cool. She could let them order them that way instead of the way she does it now, which is she collects all the requests and then contacts them.
Oh, yeah, it saves them a tremendous amount of time. So a lot of times what happens, Carol, for that type of customer is you would actually work with that client to set up a 12-month schedule. And they'll do these.
That's assuming that they plan ahead.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. You're trying to lay out a schedule,
I know.
so you can, and it's help me help you, right? Because she doesn't have to do the time.
I can just see the conversation. You want me to figure out what I want over a whole year? Oi.
Yeah, but you get the advantage is if I come in here and I'm one of those buyers, I can buy a 36-piece item and pay the 10,000-piece price potentially.
Right.
But all this is done electronically, so I just ordered this. I'm not going to go any farther because I'm live, but it would ask me how I'm going to pay for it, when I'm going to
right. And it goes through, and then it goes back to. I assume in the pay for it, it could be a corporate buy as opposed to an individual buy.
Yeah, it can be an individual buy via credit card. It can be a cost center. It can be a credit. You can go back to the corporate office. Got it. It's kind of cool. All this is done electronically.
Cool. And so then it automatically, once that's all closed out in 4 days or whatever, it automatically makes an order, or does the salesperson have to make an order?
Well, the salesperson can actually download these. The salesperson would get a list of the people that bought. They need to check a box if they approve it, and it goes directly into our system.
Right.
So yeah, you don't have to. You're not going to kill yourself. Once you approve it, it then downloads into Salesforce because all that we're tracking is how we're paying for it, right? So, and then the individual who's buying. So all that information would be would be uploaded because that's the list of people you're originally sending the group buy out to. So
right.
you just approve, that order goes into the database.
Oh,
And then,
good.
how they're going to pay for it, either charge a credit card or they'll charge the corporate office.
But they're individually invoiced.
They
by
can
each
be.
person. Yeah,
Unless
or
it's a
whatever.
centralized bill. Yeah. Yeah. They can be. But you can save yourself, obviously eliminate the warehouse and fulfillment costs, and then ideally you'll save a ton of more money additionally just on the unit
you'll
costs.
just have drop ships or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I got it.
So,
Understood.
That's the group buy. So
that's interesting.
But, yeah, so it's definitely different. But
it is different. It's interesting. I'm trying to come to grips with, exactly what we talked about at the beginning. What is the advantages to me if I join your team? And I'll have to dig through that a little bit on my own. And also, there's going to be a lot of questions that I don't have answers to now. One of my goals of doing something is so that I can travel more.
Yeah, live a better quality of life, right? You want to be able to.
That I don't have to be here as much.
Yes.
And so I'm not sure, at what point, because of the fact that your team does almost everything as far as the order processing side of it is concerned, and project following, not management, but project following. But I still need to have the research and the other part covered in various ways. So I don't know. I have to look at it. I mean, I have to digest this. It's a nice system. You've done a good job. Pat, you still there? I think we got cut off.
I'm sorry, I muted. Yes, my bad. I accidentally clicked the mute button. But I was going to mention to you, Carol, was that we do have that service is available to you. We do have individuals that offer that as independent contractors, but they do it on a fee basis. It's about $18 an hour, but if you're needing 10 hours a week or whatever it may be, it's certainly economical to go that route if indeed you wanted somebody to do proposals, sourcing, answer phones, that type of thing, as an option.
Interesting to know about.
So
I'm just trying to find out if maybe it's a good thing. I'm very glad that I did it. I talked to you. I'm going to be looking into some of the other options out there. It certainly is a slick system. Very nice.
I think again, I think you just explore the options. I think obviously I threw quite a bit at you, but if you do have questions, I'm certainly here to. Do you want to circle back in a week or two to address some questions, or how would you like to proceed?
I tell you what, I will send you an email with questions. I may not have time to review this again this week, so it might be a couple of weeks before I get to my brain to circle around it. But it's a very nice system that you've developed. I can see why people are in there. I might want to talk to some of your members just to kind of,
absolutely,
from their perspective, what are the pluses and minuses? That kind of thing.
No, absolutely. We can give you anybody you'd like to talk to. We're an open book, whether it's suppliers, obviously, or folks that are with us.
If you want to send me kind of a list of 2 or 3 people on both sides, supplier and partners.
Sure, absolutely.
I would love to have that so that when I do get to the point where I can wrap my brain around thinking about it, Meanwhile, business is happening here. So.
No, absolutely. All right, go back to get your. I'm going to send you over some stuff for you folks for you to reach out to, and I also may just send you a portal link to have you play around with it and explore around with that. And then let's look forward to hearing back from you on your questions.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks for your time. You have a good day.
Thank you, Pat. Bye.
Bye-bye now.